The air was thick with something I had never felt before, as if the room, self, knew a line was about to be crossed, and I sat on the edge of our bed, heart hammering as she stepped in her eyes. Kay, meeting mine not with awkwardness or nerves, but with a calm that unnerved me in the best way possible. She smiled and walked closer, her heels softly tapping against the hardwood floor. My husband leaned against the doorway, silent, watching every move, every breath, his gaze unreadable, and I should have been scared, but I wasn't, not when her fingers touched my arm, not when she leaned in, whispered, "Is this okay?" And my voice trembled, but it said yes, without hesitation, yes, because I had thought about this more times than one. I could admit thought. About her, the way she looked at me at dinners, when our knees brushed beneath the table, when her lips curled with secrets only. I seemed to notice, and now those secrets were about to be a whoosh. Kissed me first slowly, her lips gentle and curious. And when I didn't pull away, she kissed me again deeper, and my hands found her waist, like they had always meant to be there, her body soft against mine. Her breath sweet and fast, and I forgot about the world, forgot about the rules and the fears, and the quiet expectations, because in that moment there was only her and the warmth spreading through me like wildfire. She laid me back against the bed, her lips trailing down my neck, her hands exploring, and I gasped, I moaned, I melted and through it all I could feel his eyes on us, heavy and burning, not with judgment, but with something darker, something possessive, and yet willing. He said nothing. Not yet, but his presence was everywhere. In the shadows of the room, in the way my name slipped. From her mouth like a prayer me clothes came off one by one, discarded like hesitation and pride, and her hands knew where to go, what to do, like she had memorized me from afar. And did the same, pulling her close, pressing our skin together until I couldn't tell where I ended, and she began her thighs between mine, her mouth teasing and tasting. And when she made me cry out, my fingers clutched the sheet's eyes, flying open only to find his still locked on mine, his jaw tight, his hands clenched. But he didn't move, not yet, and I knew he was waiting, waiting to see how far I would go, how far we would go, and I didn't care. I wanted her, and I wanted him, and I wanted the lines between us to disappear. Kissed my lips again, and then turned toward him, extending her hand, not with words, but with invitation, and that was when he stepped forward slowly, like a man crossing a forbidden threshold, and for a heartbeat the room was silent, just breath and heartbeat and heat. And then he was beside us, his hands touching both of us, his lips tracing a path between mine and hers, and the rest of the night began not with permission, but with surrender. His fingers slid across my skin in a way they never had before, more cautious, more curious, as if I were something new, something not yet explored, and I was, because being with her had changed me. The taste of her still on my lips, the sound of her gasps still echoing in my ears, and now his mouth was there too, kissing her, then me, then both of us together. And I couldn't tell whose hands were where, whose breath was in my ear, whose touch made my back arch and my voice shake. All I knew was that I was surrounded by them, and it was right. It was everything I never knew. I needed. She lay between us, her hair splayed across the pillows, her chest rising and falling fast as he kissed her shoulder, and I traced patterns along her thigh, and it wasn't about jealousy or comparison or even possession. It was about giving in, about exploring something we had always danced around in our minds but never dared to speak loud until now. And the way he looked at her with wonder, with hunger, made me ache more, not less. And when he kissed her again, I didn't look away. I leaned in and kissed her too, 'cause she was ours in that moment, and we were hers, our bodies tangled in ways that blurred the lines of identity, of boundaries, of expectation. Her breath caught when his mouth moved lower. Mine did too, when her nails scraped down my spine and his hands found me, then holding, guiding, pressing, and we moved as one. A rhythm unfamiliar yet natural, a dance we had never practiced, but somehow knew by heart. And when we cried out, it was not in isolation, but together, voices overlapping, hands reaching for each other, skin pressed so close it felt like we were made to fit this way, to burn this way, to belong this way, and later, when we lay, they're still tangled. The silence wasn't awkward or heavy. It was full, like the quiet after a storm where everything is washed clean and new and possible. And she curled into my side, and he wrapped his arm around both of us, his thumb brushing against my back, and I closed my eyes, not because I was tired, but because I wanted to memorize it, every touch, every breath, every heartbeat, so that even in the ordinary days that would follow, I would remember that night when nothing was wrong, when everything was right, when love looked nothing like we expected and yet felt more real than it ever had before. Because he watched me with her, and then he joined in. And something inside us all shifted, and from that night on, we were never the same again. And we didn't want to be